Huh? Huh? Hey? Hey? Huh? Hey? Huh? Huh? Hey? Hey? What? What? Oh, hey, everybody! It's KZ. Welcome. Welcome to Shonen Jump Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist. It's Yugi! Oh. Legacy of the Duelist. This is for the Xbox One and PS4. I was originally going to do this as a co-op LP of sorts, where I had my friend PM here, and we were going to commentate together, but due to some technical issues that are really bad, I can't do guest commentary on anything I record of at least it looks like Xbox One, and possibly all capture card related stuff, so I'm going to have to ride solo, but it's going to be fine. Because I have plenty to talk about with Yu-Gi-Oh! And we're going to talk about it here. First of all, this will be a bit of a longer intro before I get into gameplay. Because there's some interesting stuff in the game that I'm going to kind of knock out here. Because I looked into it and did research because I've done a couple of takes of this. So, Yu-Gi-Oh! Legacy of the Duelist is a Yu-Gi-Oh! Video game based on the popular card game that, you know, is from the anime and the manga of Yu-Gi-Oh! The purpose of this Let's Play will be to go through the game's campaign, which has every single series from Yu-Gi-Oh! With the current one, Arc 5, or Arc V being the most recent one. And you go through, you pick one, and then you can continue through the story to fight through various important duels for the series. I plan on going through them all in order, but what's interesting is they did a lot of screwed up stuff with this game, in a way. Now, the original series was completely dubbed by 4Kids 100%, which was really cool. But there are at least two series they did not do that, which is GX and 5Ds. GX ended around their third season of 4, and we just didn't get the last series. Granted, I believe that's because that involved the main character playing a card game against Satan. But, you know, it just happens. And 5Ds stopped in its last arc as well. Mostly, they stopped dubbing these just because of darker themes, and so they could start dubbing the next series. Because, you know, Japan was ahead because they're the ones making the anime. But as a result, they didn't include their important story points in this. But they also did. They did in the form of the most insidious thing in the world: downloadable content. So, the plan is that I'm going to get the DLC for Yu-Gi-Oh! GX and 5Ds. I don't know about this one, because I don't fucking like Zexal. I didn't like what I saw of it, but maybe going through these story modes I'll learn to like it a bit more. But it's unfortunate that this game is kind of almost dictated by the dub, and they were trying to make it a selling point of never-before-seen duels from 5Ds and GX. I'm like, we should have been able to fucking see them, you know? Yu-Gi-Oh! Also has its own two, like, moments that are cut out from the Duelist Kingdom saga as DLC, but they're not that important, to be honest. So, the DLC's $5, okay? Like, pull my arm here. Also, credit to a loyal viewer, Lady IDK, who provided me the copy of this game, essentially. So, I forgot to credit you for that. So, why not? Why not, you know, give credit where credit's due? We're going to get started now. So, these are historical duels. Let's see how this game handles everything. I'm a little confused as to why Kaiba has that look on this next one, but know it? Who knows how they handled this? What the fuck is that? Who are you? INF Infinite? Infinite, I guess. Why do you have a... Why? The story of Yugi Moto begins at Domino High School, where Duel Monsters, the hottest card game in the world, was all the rage. I'm gonna kind of, like, paraphrase, just so we don't spend 10 years here. Yugi was super good at dueling, and Joey, his friend, really wanted to get good. So our history of Yu-Gi-Moto starts with Yugi teaching duel monsters to Joey. Oh. Oh, that's why. That's why this duel starts. Oh, Jesus, look at these renders. Oh god, it's even using dub lines. I'm not actually going to be reading this aloud. You're not getting voice acting, unfortunately. Yeah, they're just using all of the they're just using the dub text, which kind of throws me off as like, man, is this game lazy as hell, but whatever. It at least has the story. Oh, and I guess we're straight up jumping into a duel. So this will be a good, like, opener, I guess, because it'll teach. It's supposed to be a tutorial duel. And I'm guessing you're meant to play these in order. I'm going to assume that GX has a tutorial on Fusion, maybe? I'm guessing 5Ds will have synchro tutorials and, like, every mechanic that's added to them. Anyway. Infinite. Infinite? What the fuck does that mean? Like, I know that in the previous Yu-Gi-Oh game that came out, it's like Informate, but Infinite. Someone explain to me the joke, because I don't get it. Greetings! Part of the video game, I've been programmed to teach you the proper dueling rules and best practices. So let's get started and walk you through the basics. You'll be taking the role of Yugi, taking on Joey in a duel. Here are our cards. When in the hell did Yu-Gi-Moto get a Gravity Crush Dragon? I don't even think that was out at that point. This is gonna be an experience. So, I guess I'll teach people on the internet the basics of the game as we go here. So, we gotta summon monsters. Monsters summoned into the monster zone. They can be summoned in attack or defense position, but they must be set. So we are going to start our tutorial with summoning the dragon dwelling in the cave in defense mode. If it is going into defense mode in this game, it has to go face down. Nothing can be put up face up in defense. Since we can't attack, we can't enter a battle phase, and there's the tutorial we're just ending. I'm hoping this game is fast and enjoyable, because the last Yu-Gi-Oh game I played, Millennium Duels, was fucking terrible. Why is the logo of the game on all the cards? So, a couple mechanics that I can show you right there. So, thank you, game. So, Joey attacked our monster. That's why his card is vertical. But because his attack value was lower than our defense value, the difference in points was deducted from his life points on the top right. Goal of Yu-Gi-Oh, if you do not know, is to bring your opponent's life points to 0 and you win the game. Sometimes they do best 2 out of 3s. I don't know if this game's going to do that. But we've got a good defense here, as you can see. So, what do they want me to do, actually? It seems it wants me to play Banner of Courage. So, in the back row, you have spells and traps. I want to use them to, like, do shit. So, pink trap cards can be activated on your turn during your opponent's turn. Okay. So, basically I shouldn't be giving a tutorial on the card game in the Let's Play, but fuck it. Alright, here's how it works. You have monsters. You can summon them to the front of the field. They attack or defend. You have your back row, which is spells and trap cards. Spell cards are things that have various different effects. They can usually be used immediately if the requirements are met. Trap cards can be set on your turn, and after your turn ends, after setting one, they can be used from then on, should the requirements be met. But you can't use them on immediately. It's because they're traps. You have to set them first. It's puns. So what do they want me to do? So for this, they want me to select my dragon and put it into attack mode. Then they want me to, I guess, summon this guy, which is our Ninken dog. And now the game has been set. We activated our spell Banner of Courage, so we get an attack buff to our attack position cards. Sorry if this video is a little awkward with me, like, not really knowing how to do tutorials on this, because it's like, it's a little bit weird, but, you know, because it'll be awkward for people watching who are just like, hey, this is a Yu-Gi-Oh thing. I know what Yu-Gi-Oh is, but, you know, whatever, they can skip it. You know, they can skip the first video. Alright, with that done, press B and select End Phase. So, we successfully did attacks. Another mechanic is that when you destroy your opponent's monster, you're able to attack. If they have nothing in their monster row, you'll be able to attack them directly. They will take damage equal to your attack value. So the next thing is tributes. So, as you can see, every card has a star level. It's denoted on the field on the bottom left, but they're always right under the monster name. Levels 1 through 4 you can bring out immediately. Levels 5 to 6 you have to tribute a monster on the field. And levels 7 and up take 2 tributes. So, that's interesting. You can also only summon once per turn in this way. There is also something called special summoning, and that can be done an unlimited amount of times. But we'll get to that in a bit. So, the game wants us to go ahead and bring out a level 6 monster. So, we're going to sacrifice this dude, and lets us bring out Gravity Crush Dragon, which is good. So, if you read that on the left, you can see that Gravity Crush Dragon has an effect you can trigger. So, we're going to go ahead and do that. So, what's this effect? You can send a face-up continuous spell you control to the graveyard to target a monster your opponent has, destroy it. Continuous spells, you can tell, are continuous by them having an infinity sign on their description. You'll see that right above the yellow text on the left saying Banner of Courage. So, we can just hit Activate Effect, and boom, we can do it. And we destroy the card. Now, let's chain the effect. We can chain it with our face-down Call of the Haunted, which lets us bring a card back to the back from the graveyard, and it'll just be back, which is nice. But they also want us to continue to chain, so we're going to use this, Rush Recklessly, which shall give us a power boost. So, if you're wondering, like, do chains matter? Like, what is chaining? Chaining is just, I am able to play this card right now, so I'm going to respond to the activation of something on the board with it. A lot of times you'll use it to counter someone's card to make it useless, and other times you just do it because you can. And there are other benefits as well. Really, there's no reason for any of the chaining that we just did in this tutorial to, like, be done, because you could do all of this. You could do all of this separately, but I guess the game just kind of wanted to show you, hey, chains are a thing. So thanks to that, we have a souped up dragon now. We got Gravity Crush, and we've got Ninkendog. And we've got a lot of attack. Like, I think we have an exact kill here. So we're going to go ahead and do it. Boom. I will say this game looks very nice compared to the other Yu-Gi-Oh game that was brought out, so. Like, there's a lot of repeated assets, but it seems like the gameplay's a lot snappier. But that's the general idea how Yu-Gi-Oh works. Use spells and stuff to support and affect your opponent, traps to give yourself the edge and screw over your opponent, and monsters sacrificing and summoning them. Like, I feel like some people are like, I still don't get it. Don't worry, you know, it's hard. It's hard. So Joey's like, yo, let's go see your grandpa, Yugi. We gotta go see his cool cards, because he's got, like, super rare crap. Little did they know, though, someone was listening in on their conversation. Someone who was looking for a rare card to add to his collection. Please tell me, Monocle Robot. And thus, we won a bunch of stuff, apparently. Wow. Well, okay, thank you. Apparently, we earned some dueling points. I guess that's to buy cards. They give you just a bunch of stuff. I'm very interested. So, that's the first one. I think we'll do another one for this video as we continue. So, continuing on with the very years have been put into making this story mode for this game. That afternoon, Yugi and his friends went to the grandpa's game shop. Yugi wanted to show his friends his grandpa's prized possession. Like, yo, you want to see this card? Yeah. Alright, fucking, why are we outside? Because they couldn't afford the inside. Oh, yeah, you're right. They don't. So he reveals his ultimate rare card, which is a Blue Eyes White Dragon with no description or title and a watermark on it. It is priceless. There's only 4 of this card in the world and only 1 of this crappy version of it. That was always interesting to me, where it's like, there's only 4 of this card. Like, there's like a thing lost in the card game for us, because there's a billion of that Blue Eyes White Dragon. But in the anime, it's like, almost every card in the game there's like only 1 of, which makes stuff a lot more interesting. So he's like, yo, I won't buy this Blue Eyes. Yeah, I'm sure you could, but no, I don't care. You're old! Kaiba stormed out of the store. The team was disturbed by Kaiba's obsession with a trading card. The next day, when Yugi came back to the store with his friends, he found Grandpa was gone. When the phone rang, it was Kaiba, mocking Yugi that he had kidnapped his grandfather and took him to his essential mega corporation skyscraper in an attempt to take his prized trading card. You may think that's stupid. Don't worry, it is. But as a kid, this was super cool that this high schooler just did it. Yugi and his friends rushed to Kaiba Corp, found his grandpa laying on the floor defeated. Oh, his back's probably bad. I failed. I wanted to beat him in a card game, but nah, not happening. Aw. And Kaiba's super hyped that he beat an old man in a trading card game. So, they both had a duel. They put their most valuable card on the line, but he won. You should be ashamed of yourself for playing a trading card game with someone over 40. Look at this sweet prize I won! Kaiba held up the Blue Eyes and ripped it in half. Which is pretty fucked up if there's like 4 in the world. Worth millions. It's a rare and powerful card, and it will never be used against me. I could have put it in a safe, but, you know, why don't I just rip it to make myself look like a heel? And he's like, oh! He's like, So Yugi's super upset about this. So his grandpa's like, this is my prize deck. I put everything I could in it, and I've taught you everything I know. Surpass me and defeat him. Yugi's like, I'm gonna do it. And thus begins the first duel that was in the first episode of the anime, as Yugi transforms into a much sexier version of himself. Kaiba was taken aback by Yugi's sudden transformation. Seems like he became a different person, as if he was more confident and powerful than before, with a new voice actor. At this point, he becomes the Yami Yugi persona, which is the, you know, it is that part in the show where they yell Yu-Gi-Oh! and a deep-voiced version of Yugi comes out and duels for every episode. So, at this point, they let you pick a story deck or a user deck. The goal for the LP is going to be to use story deck every time. I hope that the game is balanced in a way that that is possible. Because I want to use story decks. Alright, so this was the first episode, so I'm going to guess that this has, like, Exodia and stuff like that to take on Kaiba. The difference here is they have Kaiba wearing his most iconic outfit, but he didn't actually get this yet. Whatever, it's fine. Stuff costs money. I'm gonna pick paper. Well, I lost. It's fine, I get to go first. Games in Yu-Gi-Oh! Are decided by who goes first. By rock, paper, scissors. So yeah, this looks like a super classic deck. Yeah, I like this. There's no banned lists involved in this game here. In story mode, at least. It's just, you know... It's just the cards used in the anime. And there's no tutorial. We just go straight into this fight against Kaiba. Alright. Let's get started. So we got a few options here. I'm gonna go ahead and set Sangan. Because if he dies and goes to the grave, I can pick up a monster, and that'd be pretty good. Monster Reborn Dark Hole is just gonna stay in my hand. There's no point in setting these spells. These spells are pretty good. This one brings back a monster, and this one nukes all of the monsters on the field. He opened up with Hitatsumi Giant. Did he actually... He opened with the same card he had in the anime. That's I hope it's that loyal. That'd be great. So, at this point, I'm guessing we want to try and be super cool guys and win with Exodia. Which, to do that, we're going to need to get all 5 pieces. The arms, the legs, and the head. So I'll pick up the head now. Boom, boom. We'll try and see if we can win with Exodia. Ancient Rules. Oh, Jesus Christ! The Blue Eyes White Dragon! So you use Ancient Rules, which lets them summon a normal monster, which normal monsters are yellow. And effect monsters are orange. Normal monsters aren't as good as effect monsters, because effect monsters have abilities they can use. Normal monsters are just... They're dictated by attack and defense values. But with Ancient Rules, it lets him just summon whichever one he wants, since they're not as special. This is bad, though. Luckily, the game has decided that I get to have 2 Dark Holes. So we're just going to use one and nuke the field. Which is really good, because we didn't have anything out to begin with. At that point, let's summon my winged dragon, Guardian of the Fortress, number 1. We'll enter the battle phase and start pounding his butthole. I appreciate his devotion in trying to summon a Blue Eyes on the first turn. So what's he do now? He's gonna set a monster, so he doesn't seem to have anything now. But he put something in the back row, so it could be a trap. Gotta be careful. Oh my god! All of the cards that are banned that I love are here. I loved Graceful Charity back in the day. Graceful Charity allows you to draw 3 cards, but you have to discard 2. So, I'm going to discard Rude Kaiser, because it's a terrible card. It's level 5 with 1800 attack. This is level 4 with 14. Just as a reference, 1800 and 1900 attack points shouldn't be too hard to manage with level 4 monsters. Tributing something to get this low of an attack value is garbage. Especially because it's normal. Aside from that, what do we want to drop? Heart of the Underdog could be really, really good for us. So I will drop Karibo. And activate Heart of the Underdog. So during our draw phase, so at the point when our turn starts and we draw a card, if we draw a normal type monster, like say Winged Dragon, we can reveal it and draw another card. This will let us get Exodia pieces faster, possibly. Though, will we need to? Because, I'm doing pretty good on my own here. I'm doing pretty good. I don't know if I even need to... Oh, God. That's a lot of defense, and I just took a lot of points. 600. Another different thing from the anime is that the life points are going by the actual in-game rules, which is 8,000 points. In the original Yu-Gi-Oh!, back when they just made up the rules as they went in the first season, I'm gonna go ahead and reveal this because I drew a normal, but in the original series... Oh, we can keep doing it, by the way. It continues to stack so long as we draw it. Oh my god. You can't beat this Kaiba! Have all the fuck. Do these stack, I wonder? Okay. But in the original series, they kind of made up the rules as they went along in the first, like, 50 episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh! And then they instituted the rules that we're playing now. They called them Battle City rules. These are just the actual rules of the game. But back then they had 2,000 light points, and now it's 4,000 in the anime. But here it's 8, in case people who play the originals were wondering about that. Alright, had to do a quick cut, but we have a lot of cards in our hand. We're going to have to drop some stuff, because at the end of any turn in a game of Yu-Gi-Oh!, you have to have 6 cards. If you have anything above, you discard them. So we need to take our time through this turn to put them to some use. So we're going to set Mystical Elf, because she's a pretty good defensive monster, matches the Aquamador. Some of these retro cards, I love them. I've played a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh! Games, so I'm interested if Heart of the Underdog stacks. So if we draw normal, we get to draw twice. So I wonder if that's a thing. I'm not up on all of my stuff, so it may not. We are going to end our turn. We have no way to offensively get past Aquamador. So we end, and he uses Gift of the Mystical Elf. 300 points, 300 life points are gained when you use that card for every monster on the field. So 3 times 3, 900 points for Kaiba. At this point we have 7 cards we have to discard, so I'll discard my Feral Imp. And we have 3 pieces of Exodia. Left arm, right arm, and the Forbidden One. He took my bait, so he lost most of the points he just got back. We draw Heart of the Underdog. And it indeed stacks, so we draw twice. Activates the chain, we draw, and thanks to that we essentially get a second shot of Heart of the Underdog working, and still get the benefits of 2. So effectively, we found a way to possibly draw a ridiculous amount of cards. We could possibly win the game on this turn if we can pick up the 2 legs of Exodia, which is very interesting that they give you this ability. Ah, that's unfortunate. So, here's something interesting. This is so fucking stupid. This is interesting about Heart of the Underdog. Because of them chaining together, right? They both chain as a result of me, like, getting to draw 2. Which means that the second card in the chain that I draw has to be the one that counts. So, since I drew Gaia first, you would think Heart of the Underdog works. No. The second card I got was not a normal type. So unfortunately, anytime I chain these together, I have to get a normal type on the second draw. So what did we get out of this? We got too many monsters. I will set these swords. I will summon a monster. I will tribute both mine to summon a vintage, a classic, Gaia the Fierce Knight. As well as setting Snatch Steel. I don't want to really overpower him, I kind of want to beat him with Exodia. Which I will probably manage to do, because I'm already down to 17 cards. We will hit end turn and start shelving cards. Shelve that, shelve that, shelve that. Especially get rid of Beaver Warrior. Alright. So what's Kaiba got? He's still going the defensive route. He's hoping he can get something going. So unfortunately Heart of the Underdog does not work. So we'll just continue to go on the offensive. Oh no, he's got Trap Master, which lets him flip something in my back row that's face down, and if it's a trap, it gets destroyed. If it is not a trap, he just gets to see, and that's it. End turn. We're gonna drop the swords because we don't need them. Move it into the next phase. He's continuing to run a defensive game. Draw, and our underdogs pop. Alright, so the second card needs to be a normal. Unfortunately not, but we did get something interesting. Pot of Greed. It is the card that will never be unbanned from Yu-Gi-Oh! It is a card that allows us to draw 2 cards at the cost of nothing. The reason it won't be banned is because it's essentially a +1, I believe it's called. You pay no cost for this. It's instant profit, and Yu-Gi-Oh! Just isn't about that anymore. We have another Heart of the Underdog. Boom, let's use it. At this point, I kind of trapped myself in terms of what I want to do. We will continue attacking, because we don't really have a way to fix our back row. He just used negate attack, which negates all attacks for that turn's battle phase. So, I think another thing I didn't mention is the phases in this, so I guess I can explain them here. You have 6 phases in a turn of Yu-Gi-Oh! They are the draw phase, you're drawing. Standby phase. Any effects, this is where effects can activate. It's kind of like a filler phase. It's like you draw, standby phase happens, goes into main phase 1. Main phase 1, you can summon monsters, activate cards, set cards. Battle phase, you fight. Main phase 2, same thing as main phase 1. And then end phase. But your one summon is tied to your turn, so I could say summon Sangan, and that's it. That's my normal summon for the turn. It's not locked in, so there's not like one summon per main phase. Main phase 2 is just essentially anything extra you want to do, or maybe you didn't do your normal summon. So, that's all I can do. Let's go back to discarding some cards. Quite a few, actually. I don't think I'll need Dark Hole for my Exodia play, so... If we can get a normal card, like, we're gonna draw 3 times. We got our headliner, the Dark Magician, out of that. Let's go ahead and... do this. Kaiba's like, why is he drawing so many cards? Heart of the Underdog pops. We now have the leg. All we need is the final piece of Exodia. This is such an interesting deck. I like how they designed this. It's loyal to the anime. Activate Heart of the Underdog. We have won this game, probably. We have 4 cards left. We have a very good chance of picking it up. So let's draw our last pathetic cards. But we have no pathetic cards. What we do have is Exodia. We won. In case you're wondering, Exodia the Forbidden One is a thing where you collect all 5 pieces, and if they're in your hand, you win automatically. And with that, we won. And we did it the canon way. You play only for power. That's why you lost. Actually, he lost because we drew way too many cards, and he couldn't attack me much. But if you put your heart into the game, and cheat Heart of the Underdog mechanics, there's nothing you can't do. The results of the duel spread quickly, because in the story, Kaiba is actually the #1 duelist around. Like, he's the big champion, so... us beating him in a private duel that no one was able to see, word spread quickly. And a mysterious one-eyed man gets news of this. And with that, this man, Maximilian Pegasus, needs to learn about us. So we picked up some cards, so it seems we picked up the Blue Eyes, picked up a booster pack, some points, Shadow Spell, Wall of Illusion, picked up some cool cards, and the next campaign duel. So this is going to be it for the first video. Kind of a weird series, but I think it's interesting just playing through these games. I feel like the series won't be for everyone because it's Yu-Gi-Oh! And I feel like card games may be a bit harder to go through, and the story is like, I'm kind of screwing around with it, but I feel like if people like it, that's cool. That being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time, where we do the ultimate Great Moth. Fuck that.